talking about how we can move beyond participation and how we need courageous engagement to shape our community. Okay. So first, I want you guys to imagine, what did it look like, what did it feel like when you first felt like you were a part of a community, especially this community? When you first started college, what did that look like, in which way, in which space did you get involved? For me, I think it usually starts with your department, right? I started within materials science, that's my department, and they had an organization called the Materials Research Society, and that was so fundamental for me to feel involved, that I had a social community, that grad students didn't only just do research. It was so important. Next, though, I moved to the college, right? There's a common thing within the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. The undergraduate population their engagement is amazing. It's called Stuco, and they have their own retreats. They're so engaged, they know. Like, you ask them what college, they're like College of Earth and Mineral Sciences. The same is not for graduate students. I, for a non-insignificant part of my time here, did not know I was a part of the College of Earth and Mineral Sciences, nor did I know who else was in my college too, the other departments. We had a meteorology department too. So we thought that was really unfortunate, so we founded an organization called the Graduate Engagement Network so that we, as graduate students, one could find and share the sense of identity with our college, and share, like, we do amazing things, right? We're graduate students, we do research, we're innovative, and it was a really disservice to all of us within that college that we didn't know about it. It improved our sense of belonging and inclusion. Now we have welcome retreats so that we, like, incoming graduate students at the college level can meet each other and find mentorship and build relationships. So for that long journey ahead, they have people to rely on. And then finally, of course, we're in this big jar called the University Park. There's so many colleges within the University Park, so if you decided, okay, I just wanted to be a part of my college, get involved on that level, see there's many colleges. You also could be involved in sports, different organizations, administrative levels. Okay, there's so many ways to get involved on many different levels within the university, but often it starts very small. It's these small interactions. You don't just start from the get-go being like the president of UQA. You meet someone, you feel like they are invested in you, they care about you, and that pulls you along to stay invested in the community. And so I mentioned that it's these small interactions, it's these genuine interpersonal actions, relationships that really build and develop community. It's because of this, it inspires change and positive growth. So I wanted to break down like different stages of how we get invested in a community. First is the trial stage. This is when, okay, you're a brand new, newly minted Penn Stater, and you're like, okay, I'm here. But you have you go to your classes, you could really take it or leave it, right? You might decide like, I might go to Ohio State, God forbid, okay? Like, you are not invested. But maybe your roommate is like, hey, do you wanna come to this one event? Hey, do you wanna, I don't know, hang out at the bar later on? It's these meaningful interactions that really do anchor people. Okay, let's say you move past, now you're a sophomore, or now you're like 2 years into your employment here at the university. You have some ownership. This is when people are like, okay, what school do you go to? I go to Penn State. Yeah, this is me. Okay, this is when people say we are, and we hear Penn State in the airport, of all places. This is you saying, I love this place. I would never go to another place. This is my community. And then the next part is investment initially, but reinvestment. So this means that you are locked in for the betterment of this community. This looks like our amazing alumni network that donate and generously give their time, resources. We have scholarships, endowments, buildings named after our amazing alumni. This is people like general students investing their time in volunteering. This means that you are committed to the betterment of our community. And that's amazing, right? This is amazing. This is community at its best. I, though, would be remiss to say, like, there are certainly threats to our sense of community, right? Like, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, very recently, I'm gonna go through a lot of news articles Like all of these things, whether they are directly impacting the Penn State community or even our broader community, they sow feelings of distrust, isolation. You feel like you're all alone. Can't believe that people actually, regardless, they may have opinions or beliefs that might threaten your sense of identity. These are all very real feelings that can really undermine one's sense of community. I wanted to use this example, though, at least for me, when I started to really be consciously aware of where these feelings were coming from. So these timely warnings. I remember when I get these emails, regardless of the time of the day, I just feel a couple feelings, right? I have some initial questions. Okay, again, this happened again. We're getting another notification. Nothing's ever going to change. Am I even safe? No, I don't feel like I can trust my peers. Yeah, who can I trust? And I think I want to focus on who can I trust? Because even though it was a simple warning, right, we don't know what happened. It's just a report of misconduct. Just the simple fact that that happened, I remember feeling I no longer want to engage with my community. I no longer feel like I can trust my peers. I no longer want to go out. And these are very real feelings, right? I was so gung-ho about the amazing perks of community, and yet I feel like I can't even go out, I can't even engage in my community. So first, these are very real feelings, but community is so important. So here are some steps to rebuilding community trust, because trust is continuously, rapidly being fractured within our community. So first is definitely take care of yourself, because we will continue to be inundated with news, of articles, of examples of and reasons why we feel like we can't trust each other as peers. We need to take care of ourselves and start healing and knowing our boundaries. The second step, though, is to be courageous, right? It's important that we take care of ourselves, we make sure that we heal, that we're in the right frame of space and mind, but we can't stay there, right? Like, we have to be courageous and re-engage. Our community is so important. Isolating gives you a false sense of security, because regardless, we're not in a volume, right? We're a part of this community no matter what. And these actions, these things are going to continue to happen regardless if we isolate ourselves or not. So it is so important that we re-engage and commune again with others. I wanted to say, though, that there are a couple of vehicles. There are many different vehicles for rebuilding trust. I wanted to highlight accountability as one of these main vehicles. So a couple things, we can revisit key issues and events that happened. Oftentimes I think that there's a lack of acknowledgement that things happen, and that can also be a little frustrating. You might feel like, where am I? Like, am I the only person seeing this? No, but we also need to work on, there's an acknowledgement of these things very much happening and impacting members of our community. The second thing is updates to policies. There are archaic policies that don't necessarily serve our community as it is now, and we all have a responsibility to engage in that revision process. I think the most important example here is finding mechanisms to uphold community standards. I gave an example of receiving that timely warning and how I instinctively wanted to isolate myself. I could technically still isolate myself. I think a better strategy would be find people who share the same values and say, like, hey, that behavior is not okay. Collectively, we disavow and rebuke that behavior, and we're stronger for that. And then lastly, reciprocal communication, which is just fancy just to say, we need to communicate with each other in good faith, to have good, honest conversations. I need to talk to you, you need to talk to me, we need to talk to administrators, we need to talk to the larger Penn State community, we need to talk to Pennsylvania. This is the foundation of all of this work in holding people accountable. The last thing I want to leave you with is you cannot do all the good the world needs or the community needs, but your community needs all the good that you can do. And I really like this quote. I'm going to give an example, extremely relevant. So with Thon, you guys do amazing things, but a single Thon dancer or a captain, executive dancer, executive director or the tech team cannot alone raise $17 million, but we need all of those individual people, people on the floor, people in the stands, everywhere, the families, to be there so that we can raise that $17 million. It is so important. We will, again, there are challenging times ahead, and it's definitely not going to be, it's not going to get easier. We just require to have the courage to continue to commit to the betterment of Penn State, to our community. And it does take courage, but we're all better for it. And that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cierra. Our next speaker is Rasham Katoch, a third-year student from Mechanicsburg, PA, studying finance.